In this video, we'll take a look at how the new dialog component in version 11 can be used to implement a feature that is often seen in desktop applications. So you can see here we actually have Microsoft Access open, and we're looking at one of the sample applications that ships with Access. And the functionality that we're going to duplicate in the Alpha 5 web application is this over here. You can see we're editing data in a browse view in Access, and then if you click on the hyperlink over there, they open up a form view of the record that you're currently editing. So I'm going to go here and change that to King, and then when I close the dialog down, the value there gets set to King, but the record hasn't yet been committed. The commit takes place over here. So if I go there, for example, and change that to SA and then open it up, the value that I type in is reflected in the form when it's currently opened. So let's now go to an Alpha 5 grid component, and you can see here we have an editable grid, and I'm going to go here and change this to, say, John. So now this record is dirty, it's an uncommitted record, and I'm going to click this icon over here to open up the dialog component, and you can see now the dialog component opens up and it says John. So all of the data in the dialog component has been filled in with the current value of the controls in the row that I'm currently editing. So if I were to go here and change that to Jenkins and then fill in some company, Alpha Inc., and then hit the update button, you can see that as soon as I hit the update button, the dialog closes and it says now John Jenkins, and we filled in the controls over here, but we still haven't committed the record. So basically what's happening is the dialog component is now just an alternate view of the row that I'm currently editing in the grid. So if I were to go there and change that to Jones and then hit the update button, you can see that that updates, and when I click the button to open up the dialog, it opens up instantaneously, and then when I close it down, the data gets reflected back into the grid immediately. So let's now go back to the builder and see how that was done. So first we can see here that we have a dialog component that has all of the controls that we want. Now we have not bound this dialog component to data, because this dialog is not responsible for saving data to the underlying table. The dialog is just acting as an alternate view of the data in the grid that is currently being edited. And then you can see here we have these two buttons called update and reset, which are chosen here from the list of predefined buttons over here. You can see it says update source grid, and it tells you what that button does. But if we were to go and look at the update action over here on client side JavaScript, we'll see that it's using a method called populate source component. So what this method does is takes the values in the dialog component and then just writes them back into the source grid. So now let's go over to the grid and look at how this button was defined. So we'll do that by actually creating a brand new button. So we'll go over to button, and we'll just say toggle dialog, and then we'll bring up the builder. So up comes the builder, and we're going to choose this new action here called open a dialog as an alternate editing view for the current record. So the dialog that we want to choose is this one over there, and if we were to hit the OK button now, we get an error telling us that we've not mapped the controls. So now let's go over to control map, and this is where we map the controls in the current row in the grid to the controls in the dialog. So these are the controls in the grid, and now we need to map them to controls in the dialog. So let's pause now and pick this up in the next video.